It's me, Ari Dosset. What I'm about to say now may sound ridiculous to you. However, I've explained it on this channel before in multiple live streams. And I have a lot of live streams. Go check them out. And please subscribe if you haven't yet. And if you want to become a member, that's an option. It's not obligatory, that's on you. Look, accidents don't exist. What do you mean, Rashid? Accidents don't exist? What are you talking about? Okay, listen. If you suddenly can't walk anymore because you have pain in your chest, you will go to the doctor and say, "Sir, I have sudden pain in my chest, I can't walk." And the doctor will say, "I'm sorry, it's not sudden. Something goes on in your body, let's check it out." He may send you to an hospital. In the hospital, they make scans of your chest. Then you figure out, ooh, there's a little tumor growing over there. And then you can go deeper to find out, how did the tumor develop? Well, your nutrition wasn't that well, and you had a lot of stress. How did you get all the stress? Well, you grew up in poverty. Now later in life, you got a job, everything went well, you didn't blame your parents for anything, but nevertheless, the poor environment you came from had an effect on your health. And now later in life, it manifests. But now, let's say the medical doctor tells the individual, all that stress of all that unprocessed trauma you have from your past also affects your health right now. And also your diet is lacking also because of lack of information. In this case, the man thinks, hey, I don't blame my parents. I'm responsible and I'm an adult. I fix everything. I deal with things. He has this pride of being an adult, and this pride blinds from noticing what other minute he's being neglected. Because as a human being, you didn't give birth to yourself, you didn't conceive yourself, and you didn't give yourself your own first name. The first name you have from birth is given to you. The native language you speak is something that was given to you by the environment. You've been shaped by the environment you grew up in. So none of us are self-made. None of us. So that means that if there are wrong things about you, that's all something that's been shaped into you by others. Now, this is not to say that you don't carry any responsibility to look for solutions and become better. Of course you do. Look, if you've been stabbed, for example, okay, you're not to blame for what happened to you. But it's your responsibility to admit, okay, something bad happened, I've been stabbed, and you go to the hospital. Because if you don't take responsibility to admit you're in danger and you need help, and reach out for help, you end up bleeding and dying. In this case, it's the other individual that murdered you, but you also collaborated with your own demise by not facing the reality of the situation. That's what I mean. Now listen. Accidents are nothing but someone becoming collateral damage because of the paranormal activity around them. For example, your wife may leave the house on a bicycle to go to the supermarket. On her way to the supermarket, she's hit by a car, and she dies. And other people say, oh, it was an accident. The driver wasn't drunk, but the driver had a heart attack right when he was driving and hit your wife. And people say it's a tragic accident, but hold on a minute. That driver has been under psychic violence for a while. That driver has a lot of people negatively invested against him. So all that psychic violence affected the physical body of the man, and that's why his brain malfunctioned. And he was even aware that all the negative contention against him had affected him physically. So now his brain malfunctioned, and guess what? Others are also around him. Others around him were affected. In this case, your wife was affected because she was driving your car. So what actually happened to your wife? She died as a result of negative contention against someone else. She became collateral damage, so indirectly she was killed by a portion of the public with issues against someone else. Now, it can also be, for example, that you go on hiking and suddenly you fall down the cliff and you die. People say, man, it's a tragic accident. The individual went on hiking, but they weren't experienced. There are many inexperienced people that go hiking and they don't end up dying. So how come you go hiking, someone goes hiking and end up dying? I mean, what malfunction that individual that he put himself at risk like that? Listen, We as human beings, we are spirit beings with physical extensions. There's no such thing as something suddenly just happening to someone. It doesn't exist. Look, the same way you can't go to a physician and tell them, "Oh, I suddenly got some pain in my chest or whatever, or suddenly I couldn't do this." Even if they can't find a medical cause directly, they know there is a cause somewhere. And that's where many of them say now it's a psychosomatic illness. That means your wrong way of thinking affects your body. Your troubled emotional state affects your physical health. So there's always a cause that leads to an outcome. Now, it's not always clear to us what the right cause is, but there is some. Listen, the same way, let's say someone was sexually molested as a child. That creep, that pedophile, could have molested any child. Let's say there were many children around, even close to him, that he could have molested. But he went all the way after that one child. Why? Because that one child was being neglected by the environment. And because of that neglect, that trash thing happened to the individual. And now the individual is a grown man or grown woman, they're still haunted by it. And now others also affected by that. So that individual, as a child, became collateral damage of neglect for the community. And that triggered the demons to take advantage of the situation through that pedophile. And now, as an adult, they also affect others indirectly. So those other people also collateral damage now. So what I'm saying is that accidents, the way we think about them, don't exist. All accidents are paranormal. It's evil spirits taking advantage of human neglect or human negativity behind the scenes. And because the individual that's affected by the accident, to them, it seems like, oh, it's just suddenly happened, or that individual just not careful enough, whatever. We see the human dimension and the human circumstance, and we base our conclusions on only that. When you look at the whole situation, look at the concept, why this individual? Or why them? It is because it's paranormal. All accidents are paranormal. So accidents, the way we think about them, just random bad things, random sad things happening, that doesn't exist. All accidents are paranormal. All of them. Now, I'm not informing you about this to trigger this blame part in you. I don't care who is to blame. I don't care what the neglect is. Just admit that it happened, and also admit such things will continue to happen till the day Jesus Christ comes back. So, be ahead of accidents by decreeing peace out of you, praying, decreeing, declaring, keeping your energy fields clear from pollution. So keep your mind and emotions in harmony with Christ, doing your part spiritually, and also being alert and sensitive to your environment. That does miracles. So your own participation is required. Don't just pray and lay on your lazy ass and expect good things to just happen. No. You participate in the solution. You participate in the good outworking. That's what we ought to do as believers. Again, all accidents are paranormal. No exception. That's it for now. Keep on improving Christ. Be at peace. And I'll see you next live stream.